Welcome to the Joshua Jordan Experience. Listen to gather mystical insights for an extraordinary life. Hello, my beloved friends. Welcome once again to the Joshua Jordan Experience. It is my honor to have you here. And may I say, if you're enjoying our content, I would be so grateful if you would hit that thumbs up. It really does a lot for our channel. And I would like to ask you to consider subscribing so that you would get a notice when we put out a video, which is usually about once a week. So, thank you so much for your support of our channel. I'm so glad you're here. Now, I want to share with you something that came up for me just last week, and I found it a very interesting review of things that Joshua has taught me. So, a friend of mine posted on a Facebook group that there's this African proverb that goes like this: no matter how sharp your teeth are, you cannot bite water. No matter how sharp your teeth are, you can't bite water. This is an African proverb. So my friend, after she posted that proverb, discussed how it's important to adopt a more gentle approach to certain situations. She talked about it being a powerful reminder that not every situation needs to be tackled with force, or the same old approach you've used in the past. Some situations need patience, understanding, and a different perspective. She also went on to talk about every problem having its own unique solution. And before jumping into action at any moment, just take the time to understand the nature of the situation. And you might find that a softer, more thoughtful approach is exactly what's needed. Now, this is important insight and wisdom for us to grasp, that force is not always the way to get what you want or handle every problem. That there are times when being gentle and giving way is actually the most effective thing you can do. Long ago, when Joshua started teaching me oneness, he often used water as a metaphor for several of my lessons. I certainly had no idea how much I needed to learn about water and how the study of water taught me a great deal about oneness. So, in Joshua's lessons, he often took a different view of things. And he also immediately, when I read that African proverb, took the different point of view and wanted to share it with you. And that is, if someone is biting into you with sharp teeth, be water. You see, nothing can harm me when I am water. You certainly can't bite water. You can't stab water. You can't punch water. There's nothing about water that you can harm. Water will always just be water. So, interesting thing Joshua also taught me about water is that, yes, water can be soft and easy. And water can also be powerful. Think of the tsunami, how nothing can stand in its way. You cannot resist the power of a tsunami. And yet, if you are water, water is often seeking the easiest path. Water seeks the path of least resistance. And water always seeks its own level. In other words, you can't stack water. You can't pile water up. Water will always seek its own level. and take the shape of any vessel it enters. Water taught me a great deal. So remember that. If someone's biting into you with sharp teeth, in a moment, angry at you or something, remind yourself to just be water, acquiesce. No bite can hurt you when you are giving way. So, yes, water can be soft and easy, but Joshua also pointed out to me to remember that a single drop of pure water falling consistently in one spot over time will wear a hole in stone. Gentle, easy water, one drop after another, can wear away, erode away the hardest surface. So water, even in its softness, is more powerful than we often recognize. So this subtle shift in thinking about this proverb, you can't bite water. Remember that there are times when you also need to adjust how you're approaching a problem. Don't always bring out the force of the tsunami in every situation. You want to be soft and gentle sometimes. Give way. Be easy. Nothing can harm me when I am water. And of course, we know the human body is approximately 73% of water, mixed with a few other elements and chemicals. And we also know the earth is roughly 70%, 75% water. Water is absolutely essential to life. So be water. Now, this also reminds me of one of the four agreements in the book by Don Miguel Ruiz. He wrote the Four Agreements, a Toltec wisdom book, which I often keep handy. I often have it right here where I can access it easily. And one of the four agreements is don't take anything personally. Don't take anything personally, you see? And I will just read to you the quick summary of that. Here in the beginning of the book, it says, don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you will not be the victim of needless suffering. So, being water is a lot about not taking anything personally. It's not about me. It's not about me. It's, I know that is it from my perspective, right? Everything's about me. Of course it's about me. I am the center of everything I know. I am the center of my universe. Of course it's all about me. But the truth is the way other people act, the things that people speak of, it's not about you. It is about them, their own experience. So remember that if someone is angry at the moment, blowing off at you, blowing steam off, or biting you with their sharp teeth, it's not about you. They are having their own internal experience of what is going on and projecting it outward. They may think they're mad at you, but actually, you cannot make anyone mad. Nope, you don't have that power. You really cannot make someone mad. However, They can make themselves mad. Things that you can do, I could say, make me mad, but the truth is, who made me mad? I did, right? Only I can make me mad. Only I can make me happy. And that's my joy because I don't expect other people to make me happy or deliver my happiness to me. I certainly don't think there's happiness in things or places. Happiness is in here always. And if I want happiness, it's in here and I take it with me wherever I go or whatever object I'm working with, dealing with, playing with. I like toys, but the toys themselves don't make me happy. I make me happy. So I kind of wandered off the subject of don't take anything personally because it's a negative. It's telling you what not to do. And I would rather talk about what to do. That's easier, right? Let's focus on what to do rather than think about what not to do. And yet, the way the four agreements are written, it's really difficult to reword any of those agreements in a positive way without going into paragraphs. And you know how I love going into paragraphs. I thank you so much for your kind attention. I just want to remind you, you are water. I am water. And I need not take anything you say about me personally or to me personally. It's not about me, what you think and how you feel. And yet we are participating in a society where we do think that our actions and behaviors affect other people. Of course they do. We have an influence over others, but no power to create their reality. None whatsoever. So when somebody is telling you, you made me mad when you did XYZ, be water. What they're saying is really not about you at all. All right. I think I've made that point clearly. I will go ahead and, to the best of my ability, bring Joshua through to talk to you today. Hello, beloved one. Thank you so much for tuning in once again to hear the thoughts of Joshua and Jordan. I have talked to you about the fact that Jordan and Joshua are blended now, very much entwined and challenging to separate. And yet, Jordan has a unique personality and way of expressing himself, and I have my own unique personality and ways of expressing myself. So, you do hear a difference in us very slightly during these presentations where Joshua is coming through on a very different channel to Jordan. And then Jordan, of course, is just himself. Although he is channeling, just like you are, your spirit into life. You are a channel, channeling your spirit into life. What Jordan shared with you today is important, and I could go further into more of the lessons about water. One of the ways I have focused on teaching Jordan oneness was to have him study nature. Nature is a great teacher, and everything you need to know about the whole is evident in nature. Oneness is evident in nature, and complete diversity. The biodiversity of this world is extraordinary. and can teach you all you need to know about oneness. When I began teaching oneness to Jordan, he lived in the country. He lived outside of the suburbs, out in a very rural area, and was able to hike in nature almost every day. And so it was easy for me to ask him to study nature, to see what nature teaches you. And I would encourage you to do the same. And you might start with, what is the true nature of water? For water, the softest surface you will touch, can also be one of the most powerful forces moving on the planet. You do not think of the ocean as weak, do you? Of course not. But yet, a drop of water from your faucet, it just hits the surface and scatters, finding its own level, finding its own shape. So, when you are water, when you remember you are water, you are not only calling upon your most gentle ability to give way, make way, find the path of least resistance. When you are water, you are also powerful force, a powerful force that makes change to landscapes. A flood of water can change the course of a river, eroding and wiping away banks that once existed, and knocking down trees and things that fall in the river, changing its flow. Water is power. Your power is to be water. Thank you so much. Jordan is excited about this topic as he hasn't reviewed it in some time. And yet, the lessons I have taught him over the decades are all very well understood. And when Jordan is sharing with you his teachings, they are based in the teachings of Joshua. He is certain to align all of his wisdom with oneness, which is what I teach. Now, in one area where we will differ, and you will hear us differ on it, there are others, but one, I'll just point out one today, is that Jordan, in his ability to manage stress, separates some things that he thinks are beyond his control. He has no effect on them. He cannot change it. So why worry about it? Let it go. And this allows him to release stress and be more at peace without taking ownership of things he cannot immediately affect. However, because he does understand everything I have taught him, you affect the reality of your world, not just your home or your community or your state or your union or wherever you live. You affect events happening on the global stage. We will talk more about this in the future. Thank you so much for your kind attention. I will bid you good day. Thank you for listening. We hope you heard something to ponder and gained inspiration for your journey. Please join us again next time. Joshua says, let the light grow, let love show, and let your life be fun.